Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. This is episode 6. Surprise, it looks like a 7, but it's a 6. Oh my gosh, 6 episodes in. What a miracle. So who do we have in today's podcast of wonders?
We have Tara. You can find me at Terrible Insight on Instagram.
Okie doke, and who's the other infamous person we got on here? Hello? I think Vince died. What?
Maybe he didn't set his audio correctly on it.
Ah, crud. The usual Vince.
And this is why we can't have nice things.
No kidding. No kidding. The witch is not good.
Okay, so we have Vincent here. I don't remember exactly what his Instagram is, guys, but
It's like Vinstagram or something like that. So something cheesy that definitely the Vincent Gram, that's what it's called. It's called the Vincent Gram. Right now he's having some fun microphone issues, so he will pop in pretty soon.
it's okay. At least I can't
Vince-
say anything while we talk crap.
True. It's called the Vincent Graham Adventures. That's where you can find his Instagram account. So basically, you can find me under NintenLady, you can find Tara at Terrible Insight, and you can find Vincent at Vincent Graham Adventures. So the first thing we're going to talk about in today's podcast, we are going to talk about Inktober, because that is the current art challenge going on for all the artists out there that have been currently drawing for this whole month. So what is Inktober? Long story short, you are drawing in your sketchbook or digital, like, Photoshop, Procreate, or whatever. You draw digitally or traditionally with pretty much ink, like, micron pens, normal pens, or whatever. And you follow a prompt by the artist known as Jake Parker that everybody says, oh, he originated Inktober. Sorry guys, but Inktober came way before his existence. But he pretty much made it more established, saying, okay, here's a prompt list you guys follow, start drawing whatever, one drawing a day, and you draw for 31 days in ink. It could be, colorful, it could be black and white, just whatever. And it's a pretty fun challenge. It's definitely, oh my god, it's annoying, but definitely a really solid challenge. Really, really good one. And so far, I am not too far behind, just 1 day behind. So luckily, I could catch up really quick on that one. But the whole point of Inktober is to help you guys improve on drawing consistently and drawing with something that you're not familiar with, which is mainly ink. Me, I'm kind of used to it. So my challenge is to try and not draw as much Nintendo stuff, which is, oh my god, it's frustrating. It's pretty goddamn frustrating because I'm so not used to drawing outside of Nintendo stuff. But good challenge. I like it. Definitely like it. But sadly enough, Vincent and Tara are not actual artists.
Hey, I draw when I feel like it, and that's just
Okay,
a very
yeah.
rare occasion.
Exactly, it's very
I
rare.
normally don't draw.
Yeah, so hence the word, they're not artists as much.
I'm an artist in my own way.
You're artist
Yeah.
at heart. You're an artist at heart. I will say that. But as a career,
That's
No.
2, 3. No.
but definitely it's a fun challenge, and thank God it's nearly over so I could work on back to my Nintendo shenanigans, because I got too many of them I have ideas for. Fun drawings I have up my sleeve. But definitely fun. Really good challenge. I really recommend it for anybody to do that kind of stuff. So that's my spiel about Inktober, because Inktober. So the next on our fun list for this podcast episode, there's a beautiful, interesting game that Vincent and Tara told me about, and
Yes.
I'm actually surprised about its existence. It's called Dead by Daylight, which, from what I'm hearing, it's pretty darn good, and it is on the Switch and PC, correct?
It is
Yes.
on the Switch,
Yes.
PC, PS4, and Xbox.
Yes, it is.
Very nice. So, what is the story about you two? What is the story about with this game?
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the survivors. So, if you play a survivor, you will be joining 3 other people in the map. Your job as a survivor is to repair 5 engines, open or provide
That's
electricity to the gates that you have to open slowly, and
That's stupid.
escape.
So are you like in a compound or something?
There are different types of maps. It depends on the killer or movie scenes that you would normally see them at.
Okay,
Test 2.
I hear you.
We hear you.
All right, thank you, sir.
So we will start off with some of the characters that we have as survivors. We have a few regular original characters for the game, but some that are not original. We have, for those of you who love Left 4 Dead, William Bill Overbeck. He is one of the characters in the game. He has a few great perks. One of them is if a killer downs you, you have 1 chance to revive yourself completely without the assistance of others.
Nice.
And as for the dying state, I will explain that. When you go running around the map and you are trying to repair these generators, if you are hit by the Vincent, you're breathing hard.
Vince, heavy breathing.
Oh my god, I lost my train of thought for a sec. Okay, so
Dying. You were talking about dying.
Yeah, you talked about dying. My bad.
no, you're good. So if you're going off repairing an engine and let's say the killer finds you, if he hits you once, you are in the injured state, which means you're limping, you're bleeding, and you are making groaning sounds to indicate where you're located. So the killer can actually find you if you're injured.
Okay.
Now, if he hits you 1 additional time, you are in the dying state, which means you are laying on the ground close to death.
Punch your way.
So what the killer has to do at that point is pick you up and put you on a hook. He can't kill you unless they have perks or add-ons to do so, or offerings, I mean. And you have 3 chances to be hooked. On the 3rd hook, you are dead.
Okay.
So while you're in the dying state, Bill has 1 chance to fully recover yourself. Because when you're dying and you recover yourself, you get at least up to 90%, and the other 10% has to be from your teammates.
Okay.
This game actually is very cooperative play heavy. If you cannot work as a team, you will not usually win.
So it's a very heavy team-oriented game where you got to know what the hell you're doing.
It's best when you communicate with your group. Even if it's a group of randoms, invite them to a party, try to communicate.
Hence, communication is key to everything.
One of the other
any game, really.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is there any other familiar faces in this game
For
that...
those of you that like Ash versus the Evil Dead, we have Ashley J. Williams. He is one of the characters as well.
Who else do we got?
Laurie Strode, for those of you who are Michael Myers fans.
Nice.
Detective Trapp, for you Saw fans.
Nice. There's also a very particular strange thing that is in this game. Isn't there some familiar characters from that beautiful Netflix series?
Oh, why, you must be talking about Stranger Things and its recent implication into Dying Light in one of the recent patches.
Correct.
Yep.
You get to play as none other than Nancy and Steve from the
We all
Scoop
love
Group.
Steve.
The
The
best
Scoop Troop
character in
Steve.
Stranger Things. The ultimate Steve.
With his Farrah Fawcett hair spray.
Steve Ahoy, the best skin.
Steve Ahoy. Good lord.
And aside from Steve and Nancy, you also get to play as the Demigorgon for your killer.
Good lord.
Oh yes, and he's quite fun. See, what you can do is place these upside down rift portals wherever you are in the ground. You have about 9 of them.
Okay.
You want to make sure you hide them because the survivor can close them.
Ah.
So put them near the generators, hide them very well, and if you notice a survivor indicates that they are near that area, make sure you have a second one open to teleport it to it.
Okay.
So you want to place them as much as you can around the map hidden, so that way you can teleport to any one of those points.
Huh.
Not
Oh,
only
cool.
that, he has a far reach with his special ability, which means he will charge, and he leaps forward with one double slash, and it does a lot. It hits pretty quickly, actually.
Pretty nasty.
It is.
Hmm.
Some
Not
of the
bad.
other killers that we have is Freddy. Now, a lot of them aren't actually named their original killer names. Freddy, for instance, is referred to as the Nightmare. You also have Mike Myers and Ghostface or Scream and the Pig. So pretty much Saw's main villain in a pig mask running around killing people.
Wow.
Now, as the killer, one of your main objectives is to kill all 4 survivors.
Oh.
So, and they're trying to escape. Now, as a killer, you have a terror radius, which means survivors can hear when you're nearby,
Okay.
no matter where you are, as long as you're close to them. Some killers actually nullify this effect by doing what is called stalking. So they crouch down, they stalk, and you cannot hear where they're at. And if they're
Okay.
staring at you and stalking you properly, you get up to you get 3 stages. Once you get to the 3rd stage, you can instantly put somebody in the dying state.
Oh wow.
So this game is actually really fun. It is very cooperative heavy, unless you're the killer. As the killer, you just make sure you just keep going to every generator because you can hear and listen to where the survivors are at.
Not bad. It sounds like a really fun party game for anybody to play during this spooktacular month of October.
Ooh, it is quite fun, especially in the dark.
I'm gonna keep away from that idea, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, guess gotta be in the dark with like good surround headsets and everything. Good computer too.
Good lord. Good lord. Doesn't that lead to another interesting game that also does that thrill-seeking fun that actually has been around for quite a while, since 2014? You know, something to do with animatronics, killer animatronics that...
Couldn't be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, would you?
No, it's that other game. I'm just kidding.
What other game were you thinking of, man? Darn! But yeah, definitely Five Nights at Freddy's. It definitely has that ambiance of horror. And it's a very unique take of not many horror games coming up with the idea that you're the one that's stuck in place and the animatronics are coming for you. You know, it's a very different take.
That is the only game that manages to actually jump scare me a little bit.
Really now?
Mm-hmm. I don't jump scare easily, but that game has managed to do it a few times. It gets you like pumped, man.
Yeah, which jump scare? Because there's quite a few.
Oh, there's so yeah. let's name a few.
There's over 20 plus animatronics. So
now, originally there was only 5.
Correct. Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, Golden Freddy, and Foxy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all pretty gosh darn creepy. I'm not gonna hide that. I think the one that I remember, because I mostly watch Markiplier playing it, because he makes the best reactions.
I love Markiplier.
I think the one that cracks me up still is from, I think, what was it? One of the Five Nights games, but it was just funny watching him like freaking out, saying, "I don't want to go near it. I don't want to go near it. No, get away from it. No, hurt it." Like, I know he freaked out a lot in Sister Location. That is pretty much like supposedly a sequel.
You know, I need to start playing some of the other sequels. I think I've
There's
only
a
played
lot.
1 to
There's
3.
a lot.
Yeah, there's quite a lot to be
Oh, I
honest.
know.
To the point where there is another game coming up that is apparently taking place in a 80s themed mall with like the neon lights and all that. But the irony about the new game, there is none of the original characters, surprisingly. They're all brand new animatronics being dragged
What?
into this. Yeah. The only one that looks familiar, it was only shown in the teaser, was a picture that looks like Freddy that ready to rock and roll, but I don't know if it is gonna be the same Freddy that we all know too familiar with.
No, that's rock and roll, Freddy.
I know, right? But definitely the series has been around for a long time. You know, you got Five Nights at Freddy's, the original. You got 2, you got 3, you got 4, Sister Location, World. What was the other one that was popping into my head? Darn it, there was like two other ones I think too. But the story alone is just plain creepy. Like, have you ever just sat there besides watching Matt Pat explain the story? It's, good lord, it's pretty messed up. Like, it has family drama story.
Yeah, I think I remember a little bit when Matt Pat mentioned it.
Like, you know, William Afton and, you know, the sons and daughters, and it's like, okay, brah, too much. Way too much. But definitely, definitely it's a creepy series. Good lord.
Yeah, it's got, especially with that, hidden story about the animatronics themselves.
No kidding. Like I will give Scott kudos at the fact that he actually pulled off a very unique horror genre that not many people even thought of. I will give him kudos on that. Because keep in mind, he was originally a game developer, a Christian game developer. That is very key. And one of his famously failed games was called Chipper and Sons Lumber Company, to where it was so horrifying, he got scared, discouraged, and then he's like, you know what, since everybody was so terrified of my creation of these characters, these, animal looking characters, why not just make a whole genre based around that idea of these horrifying looking animals? So that's how the Five Nights came into existence, and surprisingly, it's still not done. It's like One Piece, it's not going to end for a long time. Sadly enough.
No, it'll end maybe 50 years from now.
Eventually.
Oh god.
Just gotta pay 1,000 sequels later.
That's too long. That's way too stinking long.
After the Five Nights at Freddy 50th anniversary.
50 games later, you just sit there, it's like, is this series gonna end yet? Will we ever
Five
open
Nights
up
at-
that box?
Five Nights at and Freddy Ultra Reality VR Edition.
Oh, speaking of it, that was Help Wanted! Never mind, they did have a VR game. That's what it was!
Okay.
Help Wanted! That's what it was called. I was trying to remember what it was, because they did make a VR game. It's called Help Wanted, and it talks about more about Golden Bonnie, which is now a character, apparently. Everybody's calling him Glitch Trap. Everybody's calling this character Glitch Trap because apparently he glitched his way through these cassettes. And I'm going to admit, watching the gameplay of that game and listening to the story, oh my gosh, it's gruesome. Because apparently this set of Help Wanted cassette players was supposed to happen, I think, around the same time that the original Five Nights at Freddy's series was going to happen. It's coinciding with each other. Oh god, it's dark. I don't like it. It's pretty dark. I highly recommend watching Matt Pat's theory behind the cassettes, because oh my god, I had to rewatch it 2 more times just to make sure I'm listening exactly to what he's saying, because it actually adds up in a very odd and scary way, and I'm like, yikes. But the art of the game of Five Nights at Freddy's, do you guys think that the series itself pretty much stands out as its own genre of horror compared to like the other games. Like for example, Dead by Daylight, Doom, and all those kind of horror games. Do you think Five Nights at Freddy's is its own like thing that not many people can replicate as strong as what Scott did?
Well, I think it's a different type of horror, honestly, because a lot of like, I'll take example Dead by Daylight. It can be a horror game if the killer is good. That's the problem with that game. If the killer's terrible, then you're just like, oh, this is the easiest game in the world, you know?
Oh yeah, like you can literally get all the gems and like just leave.
And you're just like, okay, easy, cheesy, GG, and all that. But if the killer's terrifying, he's really good at the game. Now it becomes a true horror game.
Especially when they sneak up on you.
Yes, especially.
So my question is, do you think that Five Nights at Horrors is terrifying enough to where like, you know, it could live for a long time, kind of stuff? Even though the characters, you know, they look a little bit cheesy, but
I think it lived as long because of all the jump scares. Like that game's notorious for all its jump scares, especially the ones that have like random jump scares, and there's no way to predict it.
Like who?
I think wasn't like Golden Freddy was really RNG based.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Golden Freddy was always RNG, so if you happen to get him, you might as well just restart the game.
Yeah, that's like wow. That's like.
I think if I remember correctly, even Balloon Boy had a few RNG ones. Because you don't see his as often as, you know, like Bonnie or Chica.
Foxy is a good RNG. He's random. You have to make sure that you're on top of it. Otherwise, if you're not, it's because it's the timing of the RNG.
That's right.
Because if you manage to keep, you know, keep looking in his direction without making sure he spots you.
True.
Keeping him in his place, but you'll never know when he starts unless you're paying attention.
True.
Really?
I think there was like one other character that actually I wanted to see more jump scare of. I wanted to see more of Baby in Sister Location because she only talked. She never made that appearance of like, I'm gonna jump scare you. She never did. So I wanted to see more of her, but damn, she was cool. Also,
I was gonna explain in Doom when you said it horror. I don't want to consider that too horror-ish because it is horror themed, but you're just playing as like this this marine who's just like so powerful and like literally like it says that demons are literally afraid of Doom Guy. Yeah, that's his name, Doom Guy, and he's just such a badass soldier that pretty much he can just go through all these demons, and then you don't even feel afraid at that point. You just feel like, yeah, I can kill all these guys. It's a complete different feeling. It's like you're playing Killer for Dead by Daylight. That's actually what it kind of feels like.
That makes total sense. It makes absolute sense.
Yeah, but
okay. Here's a fun other question I got about the Five Nights series. I think it's about in Sister Location. That's right. Sister Location was the first game from the Five Nights series that incorporated voice acting of like, you know, Baby and all those guys. From Sister Location onward, how do you guys think of the voice acting?
I haven't played that.
But have you seen the gameplay of it at least?
No.
Dang it. What about you, Vince?
What was the question again?
From Sister Location onward, so Sister and etc.
Okay.
They incorporated voice acting finally.
Oh, okay.
What did you think of the voice actors that portrayed each character?
You know, I hate to say it, but I have not seen it yet, actually. You want to describe it for us?
I can, actually. So each character from, like I said, Sister Location onward, they finally got voice actors for, like, Baby. Surprisingly, Toy Bonnie got a voice actor, and along with Toy Freddy. And in my opinion, it does fit. It actually has that, like, creepy but fun vibe. It's like, haha, guys, I'm here to kill you, but let's go have some fun. And it's like, okay. Who the hell are you and what did you do? It fits each character really well. The idea with voice actors, their lines are very clear. Like, I am able to make out what they're saying.
Oh, Bonnie, you're talking about the black and white thing?
Hey, Bon! Oh,
yes.
freaking thing.
Yeah, it's like black and whitish, and it looks kind of like a 20s style artwork.
Kinda. It was from Sister Location Onward. That's where the voice acting came into play. That's what I remember.
Okay.
But definitely, I recommend you too watching the gameplay of it, because I think you guys would appreciate the voice acting. It's actually really well done. And the funny thing is, the voice actors are actually not as known. They're actually pretty hush-hush.
Huh.
So I definitely recommend actually watching the gameplay just to hear the voice acting, because it's actually pretty darn good. But I know you guys obviously seen the gameplay of the first few games, 1 through 3 at least. What do you guys think about the music? Like, do you think it fits or not? Like, especially with, like, at least the first game. Let's talk about the first game, because that's what everybody knows best. With the first game released back in 2014, this was a new phenomenon and all that. Listening to the music from the first game, with, like, the little jingle when Freddy pretty much is gonna kill you and stuff. But also, like, not as much music. It actually has a very interesting ambiance of horror.
That's perfect. When there's ambiance like that, honestly.
When it's like, it's not too much, but it's not too little. It's like bare minimum. It's there, but it's like in the background. Because your main focus, obviously, is not to die.
Obviously.
That's the other one. What do you guys think about the controls for the game? Like, watching the gameplay, obviously. Probably playing it, I don't know. But watching the controls, like with Markiplier playing it or Matt Pat playing it, what do you guys think of how the controls are? Like, do you think they run smooth? What do you guys think?
It's massive multitasking.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You have multiple objectives in which you need to make sure you're paying attention to, or you will fail to get to the fifth night.
True.
You have Foxy. You have to pay attention to when you see him in the curtains and when you see him in the camera, so that way you can make sure to close the door. You have the other animatronics that are also very active, and that's 3 others. So you have Bonnie, Freddy, and Chica you have to look at. Where they're at and whether they're getting close to you.
True.
And you also have to pay attention to Golden Freddy, whether or not they're going to come in. You also want to make sure you keep an eye on your battery.
Yeah, that's right. That was the other big problem.
And the door.
That's right. The door and the battery were the big ones. That's right. That's absolutely right. What about you, Vince? From watching the gameplay, what do you think about the controls?
I think it's perfect. I think honestly, like the way the game is made, it's actually, I consider it's made for expert mode, because once you get to that high difficulty level, your multitasking becomes on point. And like when I saw Markiplier's
2020 mode.
Yeah, when you try to do that, that showed like the true point of the game. Like at some point, you don't even get scared at it. You're just like, oh, I made a mistake, whatever. But then, of course, what gets him is Golden Freddy, because that thing's so RNG. Like,
it is.
I swear I hate him. But when he's just like, you see the multitasking like on point, and just clicking door, click there, look there,
They
click
pretty
there.
much suck you in.
Yeah, it's like really, really fast. And then sometimes what gets you is that random pop out, because you completely forgot about it, because he's just calculating on his head, like everything.
That's right.
That's when I believe that game shines. When
where it becomes like the 2020 mode, or like the highest difficulty you could get, and you have to be like quick about it and on point, or one tiny mistake will give you a jump scare kind of moment.
Yeah. How long is the like each round? Like I forgot. Was it like 5 minutes?
Maybe like 5-10 minutes tops.
Yeah, 5 or 10 minutes.
But it feels like forever.
Yeah, I was to say it feels like
it's
an
about
eternity.
5 minutes because you're going from like midnight pretty much to
midnight to 5 a.m. No, 6 a.m. Keep in mind, 6 a.m. Not 5, 6 a.m.
6.
Oh yeah, I mean the hours, right? But the gameplay made like 5 minutes.
5-10 minutes at least. If you know what you're doing, it'd be 5 minutes. If you don't know, probably 10.
Yeah,
because you're still learning the
like
controls and all that. Yeah,
it's the longest 300 seconds of your life.
It does. Oh my god, it feels like it when you're just watching the gameplay. You're like, oh, this is taking a lot longer. And then you look at it, it's like a 20-minute video, and it's like, how many rounds have you played, dude? It's ridiculous, dude.
At 2020, but you're not even thinking. You're just going off instinct at that point.
Yeah.
That's the part I think that helps the
Mhm.
most. It's like, you're just like, and then when you mess up, you're like, you know,
It costed you. Yeah, exactly. It cost you big time. So we are down to the last 10 minutes of this podcast, sadly. So
Oof.
we're going to add in one fun segment called Roasting Our Favorite Video Game. So each of us, obviously, we all have a favorite video game and all that. So we're going to have our podcastees roast one of our favorite video games. And it could be any one of us for tonight. So one of you guys could go first. It could be anybody with any game that you know them best.
Oh, you mean like the easiest one?
yeah.
With some
The
scaredy
easiest
ass bitch as a main character? You know?
Exactly.
Oh, I think it's called Luigi's Mansion?
And she even wears the jacket, Luigi.
Oh, look at all that green.
Oh, forever alone. It's not as bad as, Yu-Gi-Oh! Being made for children, yet again adults play it, like they're spending over $100 for pretty much cardboard that they could use.
Hold up. For children, I mean, let's be real. Is it really for children?
No, it's for the adultiest of adults.
But it says, even on their packaging, it's made for children.
We were kids when we started.
But
I'm
we're adults.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Now we're adults and we're still playing.
It's your
Yeah.
turn. I summon Sky Striker, activate this effect, I summon...
So I'm roasting it in a way, saying, why are adults still playing a children's game that, they should not spend money on cardboard when they could be spending money on, like, I don't know, food, utilities, clothing, I don't know, hygiene.
I
Deodorant.
don't know. Why are we playing games where Mario's the princess?
Shut up. Don't freaking diss on him that. Damn it. I like it when he was wearing a dress in Mario Odyssey. Okay? He actually looks pretty damn good. Don't diss that. I mean, you cannot deny the fact that even some League of Legends players need to learn how to hygiene themselves, because, my god, going to their tournaments, that BO, it scares even the players at times. Because if they don't know how to take a shower, I wonder if they accept that trophy, will it melt in their hands from the stink? Or will it just
Talking about the...
evaporate into thin air because of how much BO is in the air?
It's the acidity level. It's too toxic.
Too much.
The salt mine is real.
The salt mine is way too real for me.
It turned into a sulfur mine.
You just have to answer that video. Here we have is the salt mine, where we have lots of salt. You breathe the salt. You smell the salt. Everywhere is salt.
That's a lot of salt to where that trophy is going to get evaporated very quick to where it becomes salt.
When you go to a
Because
town and say, "Where's the salt mine?" and they point at League of Legends.
No, it's not just League of Legends. It's also World of Warcraft. The salt mine in there is just as bad.
Oh, Jesus. We're going that old. Okay.
It's just as bad. I'm sorry to say, but it's just as bad. I have seen World of Warcraft players get just as salty as League of Legends. They both look really familiar to me, to where I think they're from the same genre. Not the same genre. I think they're the same game. Salty players wanting to not know how to shower. Because apparently they both don't know how to shower.
This is bad as our company. Oh, wait.
It's true. Sorry, guys. It's true. But what can we say, man?
When all you can do is add expansions to a game.
I know that too well, because...
Oh, wait, it became outdated? Oh, let's revamp the old version.
Doesn't Smash Brothers does that a lot too? They kind of revamp their games and add in more stuff, but yet again, they're like, oh, we're going to give you DLC.
You mean how it was originally cartoon Nintendo characters and then they wanted to add anime to it?
Yeah. I'm sorry, but Nintendo is known for cartoony, not for...
The only character who should be drawn in the anime styles should be the Link series. That's it.
But they're too...
And Marth. Marth was the only other one that was in there.
We're only gonna add Nintendo characters. Adds Joker.
Yeah.
Well,
At least Banjo was a Nintendo character.
Was.
was. So was Sonic.
Technically still
Was.
is.
No.
Yeah, he's now in Nintendo Smash. He is technically a Nintendo character.
Damn it.
I
I mean, hell, you're adding in, dude. This is how bad Smash got. It got to the point where the Tetris game became a spirit. Yeah, the Tetris pieces, they all have names to the point where Smash actually included them as spirits.
How old do you have to be to literally still be playing Tetris that bad?
I play Tetris.
Tetris.
Are you roasting me and my ability to play Tetris?
That and seeing as how it was the first game they made come out.
It's the first Russian game, okay, and people still play it. Thank you. That's why Tetris 99 exists.
Never wins rank 1.
Ouch! I can't say anything about that.
Oof.
I can't say anything about that because I only came in second a few more times. Damn it! So that's why I'm always player 2 because I can never come in first. Damn it!
If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah.
Shake and bag, baby.
Damn it!
It's like Fast and the Furious. I came in second, and then Vin Diesel said, "A loss is a loss."
Ouch! Ouch! I mean, I'm sorry that I always pick player 2. I'm sorry.
Player 2 defeated.
That was as bad as the franchise continuing after Paul Walker's death.
Oh, right.
Too soon? I'm sorry, guys.
It's been a long. Okay.
I'll add that song in there for you guys. I'll add that song. Okay, final roast for everybody. One more roast, and then we gotta call it. One more roast.
Okay,
Make it a good one. We got like 2 minutes left. You know what's so horrifying? The fact that there's still adults playing children games. Just like, everybody's still playing all these Pokemon games. Like,
I was about to say that too. You mean like Pokemon?
Pokemon is such a children's game. Why are adults still complaining about it? When it's not even made for adults anymore. It's made for kids.
Don't you lie. Nintendo made that for us.
I'm sorry, but keep in mind, Pokemon Let's Go was made for children, and adults were complaining, saying it's too easy. Well, excuse me, princess.
I'm sorry that a
What?
What about
remake is too
Pokemon
easy.
Sword and Shield and those graphics? It looks like straight out of 3DS.
Or you mean a dog wielding a sword as a Pokemon?
Did they steal that idea from Dark Souls because it was too obvious? Okay, we'll call it quits on the roast for now. We'll do roast in future episode. How's that sound?
Yeah,
That sounds wonderful.
Don't roast Farfetch. That's the best.
Sir Fetch will always be the best. We can't roast him. We
He's
can't
too good.
roast the guy with the freaking leak sword. It's too amazing.
He's such a legendary.
Anyways,
Captain
so
Toad.
with that set in stone, the episode has to end. My name is NintenLady. You can find me on Instagram under NintenLady, of course, with my artsy fartsy stuff. Who else do we got here?
Terrible. Dark Terra. Terrible
Hey.
insight on Instagram.
Okay, and who's the last person?
Vincent, you can find me on the Vincentgram Adventure.
Okie doke, and we will see you guys in a next week's episode, which I think will be pretty fun because we're going to talk about my favorite game.
With hopefully my mic not broken.
That too! But we're going to definitely talk about my favorite game next week, and I know you guys are going to be super annoyed with me. I guarantee it.
Probably.
Hells yeah. And I'll make you people talk about it too, because I can.
I mean, I guess.
Okay. We'll see you guys next week. Bye!
Later.
Bye.